Om Namah Shivaya. Good morning, students. In the last class, we discussed about two types of mechanical energy. That means kinetic energy and potential energy, right? And in your textbook, activity 11.13, some questions have given. How do the green plants produce food? From where do they get their energy from? Why does the air move from place to place? How are the fuels like coal and petroleum formed? What are the energy conversions take place in the water cycle? All these questions actually we have to sit in a group and discuss. Okay, so in all these questions I will discuss the last question. What are the energy conversions take place in the water cycle? You already know what is meant by water cycle, isn't it? So actually how the rain is formed, that also you know. So water from the lakes, ponds, seas, etc. evaporate due to the heat of the sun, isn't it? So during the evaporation, water changes to water vapor and moves in upward direction. So there it is changed to kinetic energy. Okay, and when it reaches at the top, these water vapors condenses on the dust particles and form water droplets. And millions of water droplets join together to form cloud. So there this kinetic energy changed into potential energy because it is exists at a certain height. So kinetic energy changed into potential energy. When the cloud becomes heavy, it falls down as rain. So there this potential energy changed to kinetic energy. After falling on the surface of earth, it will flow towards the rivers, lakes, etc. So again kinetic energy is stored because they are flowing, moving. Then when it reaches into the dam, you know the huge dam here, a large amount of water is stored in the hilly areas, isn't it? So there this kinetic energy changed into potential energy. So in dam, when water is stored at that height, large amount of potential energy is stored. And you already know how to produce electricity by using this water stored in dam, isn't it? So the water will flow downward direction through a pipe. So there this potential energy changed to kinetic energy. And it falls on the turbine, isn't it? So the turbine will run and in turn generator. So there again mechanical energy, that means kinetic energy itself. Then when it run the generator, it produces electricity. So this mechanical energy is converted into electrical energy. Okay, so potential energy, kinetic energy, again potential energy, kinetic energy, then electrical energy. So many energy conversions take place, isn't it? So here we are producing electricity, but we are not creating electricity. It is actually converted from, isn't it? Mechanical energy is converted into electrical energy. So we cannot create or destroy an energy form, isn't it? Energy can be converted or transformed from one form of energy to another form of energy. So but during this transformation, there is no change in the total energy of the system. Okay, so this is known as law of conservation of energy. So law of conservation of energy states that energy can neither created nor be destroyed. It can be transformed from or converted from one form of energy to another form of energy. But total energy remains constant in the universe. Okay, so in the universe we can see many types of energy: light energy, sound energy, kinetic energy, potential energy, nuclear energy, likewise many forms of energy, isn't it? So when we add together we will get a value, isn't it? But in each and every second one form of energy changed it to another form of energy. So energy conversion is taking place continuously, but when we look the total amount, it will be constant. Okay, so that is law of conservation of energy. Now, while falling, an object falling downward direction, there also it obeys law of energy, law of conservation of energy. So when an object is at a certain height, we know it has potential energy. When an object is at a certain height, it has potential energy. While falling, this potential energy is slightly converted into kinetic energy. Potential energy is slightly converted into kinetic energy. So as it falling downward direction, the potential energy decreases, because as height decreases, potential energy decreases. But kinetic energy increases, because as it move downward direction, its velocity increases. Okay, so kinetic energy increases. So at the midpoint, when we look, we can see it has both the potential energy and kinetic energy. So when we add the potential energy and kinetic energy, we will get the total potential energy at the height from which it falls. Okay, so that shows the energy remains constant, but it converted from potential energy to kinetic energy. At the lowest point, just before touching the ground, it has maximum kinetic energy and zero potential energy. But this kinetic energy will be equal to the total potential energy at the height from which it falls. Okay, so from this we can understand that energy conserved, total energy remains constant, but in between the potential energy is converted into kinetic energy. This we can also prove mathematically. Okay, so that we can look. We can easily prove that, or mathematically prove that, a freely falling body obeys law of conservation of energy. For that, consider an object having mass m falling from a height h, that is from a point A. So at point A, potential energy is equal to mgh, where m is the mass and capital H is the height from which it is falling. Okay, then kinetic energy is equal to 0, because initial velocity u is equal to 0. Okay, so total energy at point A is equal to mgh, which is the total potential energy at that point. Now, as it is falling, after some time it will reach at point B, at that which is at a height h, small h from the bottom. So, the potential energy of that object at B is equal to mg into small h, where h is the height of the point B. Now, kinetic energy is equal to half mv square, where v is the velocity of the object at B. To find velocity of the object at B, we can use the formula v square minus u square is equal to 2as. Here, v square you have to find it out. So, v square is equal to u square plus 2as. Here, a is equal to g, which is positive, and u is equal to 0. So, we can substitute 0 plus 2g into capital H minus h, because the distance travelled by the object is A to B, and that is equal to capital H minus small h. Okay, so we can substitute for s is equal to h minus h. So, you will get v square is equal to 2g into h minus h, capital H minus small h. So, substitute the values, we will get half m into 2g into capital H minus small h. So, these two can get cancelled. So, finally you will get mg into h minus h. So, total energy at point B is equal to mgh plus mg into h minus h, which is kinetic energy. So, you can see mgh plus multiply this mgh capital H minus mg into small h. So, here it is negative mgh and this is positive mgh. Both get cancelled. So, finally you will get mg into capital H, which is the total energy at A. Here, which is the total energy at point A. So, at point A and at point B, it has same energy mg into capital H. Okay, now at C, which is the point where the object just before touching the ground, their potential energy is 0 because height is 0. We have to find the kinetic energy because it attains maximum velocity before touching the ground. So, v square you have to find it out. What is the final velocity of the object? So, for that we can use the formula again. V square is equal to u square plus 2as. Here u is equal to 0 because initially the object is at rest. And 2 g is the positive acceleration due to gravity. And h means the distance travelled by the object. So, total distance travelled is capital H. So, you will get 0 plus 2gh. We can substitute this 2gh here. You will get half into m into 2gh. So, 2 gets cancelled. So, finally you will get mgh. So, total energy at C is equal to potential energy plus kinetic energy. So, potential energy is 0 and kinetic energy is mgh. Okay, so total energy is equal to mgh, which is the total energy at the height A or at the point A. So, you can see at a point A, at a point B and at a point C, the same energy is maintained. Total energy is same. But in between, the potential energy is converted into kinetic energy. And each and every point, we can see the potential energy and the kinetic energy are entirely different. But when we add potential energy and kinetic energy, you will get the total energy at a point A. So, when an object is falling freely, it obeys law of conservation of energy. Here, total energy remains constant, but the potential energy is converted into kinetic energy. Okay, as the height decreases, potential energy also decreases. As the height decreases, kinetic energy increases because velocity goes on increasing. Okay, but total energy remains constant. Okay, so mathematically we proved that when in the case of a freely falling body, it obeys law of conservation of energy. Okay. Now, suppose imagine that we are doing is same work. Do all the persons doing the same work at the same rate? No, isn't it? Do all the machines transfer or consumes energy at the same rate? No, isn't it? A strong person can complete or certain task within a less period of time, but a weak person take much time to complete. An average person can complete within the allotted time, isn't it? So, the rate of doing work is different for different machines, or it depends upon the person, isn't it? So, the rate of doing work, that is known as power. The power measures the speed at which a work is done or how fast or slow the work is done. Okay, so power is defined as the rate of doing work or the rate of transfer of energy or consumption of energy. Okay, so power is defined as the rate of doing work or rate of transfer of energy or consumption of energy. So how can we calculate the power? So what is the equation for power? Power is equal to work done divided by time. That is rate of doing work. Okay. Thank you. Namah Shivaya.